In this problem, we're being asked to make a table of values for a function, and this is an exponential function. Making a table of values is a great first step in getting ready to graph an exponential function. And just in case this is your first time with an exponential function, let me just mention briefly what that really is. You're probably used to polynomial functions where you have some powers of x. F of x equals x to the third plus 2x plus 7 or something like that. That's x raised to powers. In an exponential function, we take something else, a number, and raise it to the power of x. So this power changes on the graph as the x coordinates change. So if you put in 0 for x, this is 2 to the 0, which is just 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Or if you put in a 1 here for x, you'll be 2 to the first power. And if you put in a 2, you'll be 2 to the second power up here at 4, and so on. So as you can see from the graphs of these exponential functions, they tend to shoot up very rapidly. So we've got y equals 2 to the x here, and y equals 1/2 to the x here. And you can also see that they have this kind of asymptotic behavior. So as x becomes greater and greater here, this number 1/2, 1/2 to the second power is 1/4, 1/2 to the third power is 1/8. It keeps getting smaller and smaller, but never quite getting to 0. So we have an asymptote along the x-axis. All right, that's a little bit about exponential functions. When we're getting ready to graph them, we just need to find some values so we can plot them and get the idea of the general shape. So what we need to do here in this particular function, we have 1/10 to the x, is just raise 1/10 to all of these different powers. So first, we'd have 1/10 to the -3 power. And you need to remember, when you have a negative exponent, it flips the fraction. So we can just do the negative part by making this 10 over 1 and raising that to the third power. Of course, 10 over 1 is just 10, and 10 to the third power is 1,000. So that's 1,000. Then we'd have 1/10 to the -2. And if I do the negative part, I just get 10 over 1 again, and that's going to be squared, and that's 100. The -1 power, 1/10 to the -1, means all I have to do is flip the fraction. So this is 10 over 1, or just 10. Anything, well, I suppose I should fill these in. Anything to the 0 power is the number 1. So you're going to see this on exponential graphs. You're going to have that 0.01 a lot. And then anything to the first power is just itself. So this is 1/10. So that is how to create a table when you're getting ready to graph an exponential function.